Hi and welcome to cheekyricho's Niswa salad, which is a tuna salad filled with fresh herbs, potatoes, eggs and tuna. I walked all over my town yesterday trying to get some fresh tuna and they just didn't have any. So if you can get fresh tuna, by all means that is the best way to do this, but we are going to use canned tuna. I've bought a good quality canned tuna which has been preserved in oil because that keeps it nice and moist. First thing that we're going to do is get our eggs, put them on the stovetop and hard boil them. Now don't cook them into oblivion because you'll have a grey ring around them, they'll be smelly and they won't be very pleasant. So we're just going to bring those eggs to the boil, the room temperature eggs, cook them for about 5 or 6 minutes and then refresh them in cold water and peel them, cut them into quarters. Now with our potatoes we're just going to pop those into some water, bring them to the boil as well, cook them for about 10 minutes until they are just cooked. You don't want those all sort of mushed up, they've got to be still quite firm. No need to peel them, we're going to cut them after they've been cooked. Okay, now it's time to make our dressing. We're going to use a little veggie salt into our olive oil with our freshly cracked pepper. Now I'm using whole seeded mustard. I actually have Dijon mustard and that's what the recipe calls for, but I prefer the little seeded look that this gives it. So in with that now. And our red wine vinegar. Now just give that a bit of a stir around, let those flavours get together and that salt to dissolve while we prepare the rest of our ingredients. Now I'm using kalamata olives. They have actually been pitted. I would have preferred non-pitted ones, but that's the ones I got for making pizzas with. Our beans have been top and tailed, washed and just cut into pieces about yay big. We've got some parsley here. I've got some flat leaf parsley, which is all I've got left on my vine because we've been a bit busy with it making a chimichurri sauce, and you must watch that video because it's gorgeous. And we're just going to chop that, not too finely, and it just gets flicked through at the last minute. Our little homegrown tomatoes have been washed. We're just taking the little stems off them and we're going to cut those into halves. There's really not enough there to do it with a little plate on plate method, so just cut them with a knife. Put those to one side too. Okay, we've just got a couple of anchovy fillets and just torn them into tiny little pieces. Don't chop them up, you want to be able to see what they are. If you're not an anchovy fan, leave them out. We've got our eggs we've peeled. They're still quite hot. We're just going to slice them into quarters. Make sure you always draw from the blunt end to the pointy end. The reason being it won't drag. Can you see that? It won't drag the yolk out of the egg. You see? If I do it the other way, it'll pull the yolk out of the egg. And we want them just cooked. We're looking at about 5 minutes on a gentle boil. Okay, just get them all separated so they can just dry a little bit and they won't get too mushy when you make your salad. Okay, our potatoes are just cooked. They're what you'd nearly call al dente. There is such a thing from potato world. And we're just going to pop those into some cold water to stop them from cooking because there's a lot of heat stored there and they'll go a bit mushy. So just pop them there and they'll cool off. Now with our boiling water, so boiling some more water, it's in with our beans and we're just going to cook those for about 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. If you're in a hurry and you need to chill them down even quicker, just pop some ice cubes in the water. We're going to be refreshing our beans as well to keep them nice and green. So that'll just take that heat out of those potatoes. Okay, our beans have lost their squeakiness. We're just going to refresh those into the cold ice water the potatoes are in. And that will stop them from continuing to cook and keep them nice and green. And that's what you want. Okay, once that's chilled right down, we're going to assemble our salad. Okay, our potatoes have cooled nicely now. We've just Van Dyked a couple of eggs for garnish. I've showed you how to do that in a different video. We're just going to remove all our crispy little green beans that have just been par cooked. We're going to cut our potatoes into quarters. Do them halves if you like, but these potatoes are a little bit big. They're really quite waxy, so they're going to go very well with our tuna. We've just lined our plate with our greens. We've just used a mesclun mix, but you could use any green salad mix that you like. Okay, it's time to assemble our delicious Niswa salad. We've got our greens here that have just been washed and dried. We're just going to lay our potatoes sort of like in a bed. This is in no particular order, all around, so that you've got a combination of colours peeking out through the rest of the ingredients. Now you don't have to put them all on top at this stage. Now we're going in with some of our eggs, some of our green beans. They're sort of getting a little bit lost in the greenery that's already there, but that doesn't matter. Some of our cherry tomatoes. You could leave these whole if you like, but I just like the way they sort of pop their little seeds when you bite them. Some of our olives now, more eggs. And now we've just got our chunky tuna. We're just going to pull pieces of that off and just lathe it around. Being careful not to break it up too much. It's a bit of a work of art, isn't it? If you're lucky enough to be able to get fresh tuna where you live, that would be the way to go. Failing that, try and get some responsibly harvested tuna. Ideally something that hasn't involved the slaughter of dolphins. Okay, a couple more beans, a couple more tomatoes. Looking pretty fancy, isn't it? Lots of lovely colours there. A few more eggs. Where's a gap for our egg? There and there. Now we're just going to drape our little pieces of anchovy over the top. That gives people who don't want them an opportunity to avoid them. Some of our parsley. I like to put in little pockets rather than just sprinkle it all over the top, otherwise it'll spoil the effect. And now we're just going to pop our little Van Dyked eggs on each corner, just for garnish. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Give our dressing a little whiz up with our world's largest whisk. Check that out, it's ridiculous. Like it out of a kid's pack, but it does the job when you're using a small bowl. Now, ready to serve, so it's ready to dress. I had a low carb breakfast this morning, and I'm beginning to wish I had have had something else. So this is going to be a wonderful lunch. Isn't that gorgeous? Like a Christmas tree, you can never have too many decorations. Hope you enjoyed this little cooking demonstration of Cheeky Richo's Niçoise salad. If you would like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, just check out our Cheeky Richo channel, and don't forget to please subscribe, and do come back and visit us again soon. We have so much more to show you, and we're uploading lots of videos every week, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.